Taking a look now at how we buy cars in Michigan this week, the governor signed what's being called the anti-Tesla bill. Tesla is an electric car maker out of California that sells direct to customers. There are no dealers. Well, the bill the governor signed says manufacturers can only sell through franchise dealers in Michigan. Big backer of this bill, General Motors and Michigan's auto dealers. Analysts say this is not just about Tesla, but future companies as well. And this has really started a national conversation. Michigan isn't the only state that has been dealing with Tesla on this issue, but how we buy our cars and these franchising laws, and should somewhere along the line those things be changed?
Well, it's the auto dealers are very closely connected with the auto companies here, and that's a very, very powerful lobby. So the laws are set up right now to protect their interests. I think the question is whether that protects customers' interests. I think Tesla would say it doesn't. That why should I have to go to a dealer to buy a car? There's not a really great public interest reason that's so. I think this is an interesting test for the governor, who, is Mr. Innovation, Mr. Free Market, and here he is standing in the way of a pretty innovative company that's saying, open up the market and let me sell there. Rick Snyder was CEO of Gateway, which was one of the pioneers in this whole idea of, getting away from the authorized dealer model to direct sales. So there's a little bit of a conflict there, but I don't think he had much choice. The auto dealers would have eaten him alive
he couldn't have done
if he had not
done
done
anything
this.
else. And direct sales are still sort of rare, particularly for manufactured goods. You don't buy your washing machine directly from Whirlpool. I mean, it goes through.
I think, can't you?
I don't think so. I mean, you're not getting cereal direct from General Mills. I mean, most things go through a retail outlet, and automobiles have been sold that same way. Nothing really unusual about this arrangement.
But what's the reason to make you have to do that? I mean, in some instances, you're talking about regulatory reasons, right? Food, for instance, food safety is tied up in grocery stores and things like that.
So.
It's a
I'm
little
not sure your
different from
food's
a
any
car.
safer because it got transported and sold at the Farmer Jack. I mean, these are franchising laws intended to protect local businesses.
Yeah.
Not uncommon. There's a number of these sorts of laws aimed at protecting the local business base, and the auto dealers are a critical business component of most communities in this
Of a
state.
lot of communities in terms of jobs and in terms of also charitable giving, I know, in a
saw-
lot of the communities. But very, very interesting, though, Tesla, which sells such a fraction of automobiles, should be of no threat to General Motors.
What's the
So
precedent?
what's the big?
It's the precedent.
I was going to say, what's the big
Open.
picture here?
They
Are
don't
we
want
looking at
General
other
Motors
companies?
doing it. It's the precedent. They don't want to establish this because first it's Tesla, then it's Toyota, and then it's Chrysler.
I mean, I think one of the opportunities here for the governor was to put some pressure on Tesla. Tesla is an interesting company in that it is trying to manufacture cars and doing everything it can not to have anything to do with the state of Michigan. They don't make the batteries here for these things. They are not buying parts from a lot of people in this state. I mean, was there an opportunity here to leverage some more Tesla infrastructure or manufacturing here in Michigan by agreeing to do this? I'm not sure that there was, but by saying no, you certainly don't make it any more likely that Tesla is going to be more friendly to the state of Michigan.
And California puts some of the most onerous regulations on
Right.
our automakers, the Detroit
Yes.
automakers. It's extraordinarily difficult to sell an American car in California. I think there wasn't much a mood in the Michigan legislature to help out a California company. It's sort of, what goes around comes around.
So could we see this question, though, come up on a federal level, on a national level in the next couple of years or so?
Well, I think it's a competition question ultimately, right? If Tesla is successful, and Tesla is making really expensive cars that a very small number of people can buy.
Right.
But if that model that he's building works and can be expanded to, run-of-the-mill vehicles, then there will be pressure to let people do it. I mean, you don't want to make Michigan an outlier and the only state that doesn't allow it. And we are already a very different state in terms of the regulations with auto dealers. It's a lot easier to buy cars in other states. Sunday sales, all day Saturday sales.
But that's not law. That's the dealer's
That's
own
just
choice.
the dealers,
I
right?
mean, that's a competition factor.
Right.